Man City 2, Arsenal 2. If I told you watched my match preview, you know what I told you. I think I called in for this particular result, that 2-2 draw. That was the most result that I really went ahead for. But I said this game could go either way into the mix. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I'm coming in with the match reaction of this beautiful game of football that really happened, and it really had a controversial decision that was taken by the referee. And very many people have been like, looks like everyone is really against Arsenal into this season. I'm going to be really breaking this down into the Yale. Welcome to this channel and smash the like button close to 200 times to obviously continue to obviously show us love. Remember, the more you like the video, the more it really goes viral. And go ahead and go into what we call mono gadgets. Go to mono gadget. If at all you feel like you want a new phone or a brand new laptop, mono gadgets is the answer, right? Call them on +256 call them on +256 70 9988 665, and you can as well follow them on TikTok at Mono Gadgets, and they really get you the best that you deserve in as a client, and they treat their customers very well. Call that lady on that number, right? And the rest will be history. Now, this game of football between Arsenal and Man City went ahead obviously happened at the Etihad, and remember last season it ended in a draw, but it was a 0-0 draw. Not it was a goalless draw, but this time around 4 goals were involved into this fixture, and guess what? It was Erling Haaland released by Savinho in the 9th minute and put Man City ahead. In after 13 minutes, Ricardo Carafiori went ahead to go in for an effort at goal, and it went into the upper left top corner, and it was 1-1. Then towards the end of the first half, Gabriel Magalhaes went ahead to obviously do the needful and really score a corner, a set piece, another set piece in 2 consecutive weekends, and he was like, this is the man. And Leandro Trossard was red carded 7 minutes later after Gabriel Magalhaes went ahead to score, and John Stones went ahead to find himself in a position of really leveling in the 90th plus 8th minute, and that's how the game of football really went down at the side of Etihad. But lots of things to talk about, but let me show you the stats on how they really went onto the pitch, and we are going to really break down everything. Now, Man City had 33 shots, but all this accumulated after Arsenal had obviously be 1 man down, because Arteta was like, let me fight for 3 points or a point. If you cannot win it, don't lose it, and that's what Mikel Arteta went ahead to go in for that principle. 5 shots on target, sorry, 5 shots on goal by Arsenal, and 3 shots of Arsenal were on target and 2 cross the line. Shows you how clinical Arsenal was. 11 shots by Man City on target, and out of those 11, 2 really went ahead to cross the line. And you would obviously give David Raya his flowers, the entire back line of Arsenal their flowers, and everyone who took part into that game, because they really put in a very huge shift. And I anticipate that on Wednesday, as Arsenal is playing into the Carabao Cup, I don't see any of those players that started and played close to 90 minutes feature into that fixture. I tell you, 78% ball possession by Man City. Arsenal had 22%. 699 passes completed by Man City. 205 passes completed by Arsenal. 91% passing accuracy. 72% passing accuracy by Arsenal. 7 fouls by Man City. 10 by Arsenal. 3 yellow cards to Man City. 4 yellow cards to Arsenal. 0 red cards to Man City and 1 yellow card to Arsenal. It went to Leandro Trossard, and 0 offsides to Man City and 1 offside to Arsenal. 8 corners by Man City and 2 corners to the side of Arsenal. So Arsenal went ahead to obviously have some huge positives, that for a second away game consecutively in the Premier League, they've said no to defeat to Man City. They are not losing to Man City. Last season, they drew 2-2, and this season they've gone ahead to draw. Sorry, last season they drew 0-0, and today they've gone ahead to draw 2-2. And I don't want to obviously go into the ifs, that if at all Arsenal were at 10, Man City would have gone ahead to obviously draw or win the game. You never know. I told you this game could go either way, and the most appropriate result would be a draw, and that's what went ahead to happen into the mix. Now, when you look at Man City and what they've gone ahead to do, it has been really great, because their attacking phase has been improved a lot with the return of Ika Gundogan and Savio. That is it. And the manager made it clear that he is Pep Guardiola, that Savinho is here to release create all make assists for Erling Haaland. And I believe that most of the goals that Haaland has gone here to score, Savinho has the most assists for those goals, if at all I'm not mistaken. So as things stand, for me, I would like to hail Arsenal. They've shown that they're warriors. They've shown that they're really people that fight until the end of the game. And you saw to it that they defended 56 minutes. 56 minutes, I tell you, when you're playing away at Man City, that is really resiliency of the highest order. They did everything in their reach to obviously keep that point. And I've gone to hit people complaining about added minutes. For me, I don't even want to discuss that. All I want to discuss is the point that Arsenal is going to hit to get. Arsenal has gone ahead to obviously go to Man City and show them that we can now beat you. Because by the time Arsenal gets a red card, Arsenal was ahead of Man City. And Man City, it took Man City 56 minutes, all 60 plus, to level up that game. You understand? So, let's all give Arsenal its flowers. Let's give Mikel Arteta, because that was a shocker. I know some people were like, if Arsenal gets a red card, then Man City are really going to find it easy. Forgetting that Arsenal is really one of those teams that is going to obviously keep a very huge backline. So you have one of the best central defenses into the world. And you saw it very well that they conceded 2. And I tell you what, that is a message sent to Pep Guardiola, that Arteta is in. Arteta is in, and he's ready for anything that is really going to come up into the mix. But I would like to obviously give the following player, the first player that I want to give his flowers. First and foremost, I want to take Bukayo Saka. Saka has been a player that I've always gone ahead to call for to raise up in moments like this. And guess what? He did so in the game of Tottenham Hotspur, where he went ahead to obviously bring in a very good corner, and Gabriel Magalhaes went ahead to head it in the back of the net. And even today, he did it. You saw that goal. You saw that goal that he scored. Cross in, and he headed it in the back of the net. Sorry, corner in, and he headed it in the back of the net, and that was really great. And for Arsenal, I think they had played the first 3 games of the season without scoring a goal from a set piece, and these previous 2 games, they've gone ahead to score 2 goals from set pieces, and they're replicating exactly what they did the previous season. Last season, they scored 20 plus goals from set pieces. You understand? After scoring 20 plus goals in set pieces, now they're here to put in the Rokani shift altogether, and I would love to give them the best that they deserve, and they deserve their flowers. You get? So for me, Saka, 5 finger salute for you. You really did your job, because you don't need to look good in games like this. But what makes you a different player altogether is that one moment of you putting in that assist. And that's what made him a different kind of player altogether into that tie. And I tell you what, he's put himself there. 5 assists so far in the Premier League. And we've only gone ahead to play 5 games. And I told you, Saka can really tally 20 assists. Because there are games that are really going to come when Saka is really going to put in a brace of assists or a hat-trick of assists. You understand? And the other player is Martinelli, responsible for the assist of Ricardo Carafiori. And I think this is what he needs. He's a very good player, but I think he needs to gain his confidence back. When he really sees he starts increasing like an assist today, and then if at all on Wednesday he gets in a goal. If at all I'm Mikel Arteta, I start Martinelli into that game of Bolton. They're going to play in the Carabao Cup, because I need him to really score. And when he gets on the score sheet, I tell you, Martinelli is going to become more confident. And today that assist is a plus to him. And I think he really did the due diligence, running to and fro, really looked good. But there is something I would like to close down this video with that I've gone ahead to notice. Now, this season, in the first 5 games, Arsenal have played some of the 3 out of the 5. 3 have been the toughest opponents. Man City, Tottenham Hotspur, and Aston Villa. Don't mention Brighton, don't mention Wolves. I'm talking about the toughest opponents. Now, Last season, how did they fare in these fixtures? They drew with Man City away. They beat Tottenham Hotspur and they lost to Aston Villa away by 1-0. And this time round, they've gone ahead to really keep or maintain their win against Spurs. They've maintained their draw against Man City, and they've gone ahead to win 3 points away at Villa. I think that's a very huge plus for the club of Arsenal. Very, very huge plus. And I think Arteta at home, Arteta in these opening 5 games, he's very, very, very okay. And at the look of things, I tell you what, Arteta is really smiling, because if you look at Arsenal and how they're doing their stuff, they've gone ahead to play 5 games. Out of those 5 games, they are supposed to obviously have collected 15 points, but they've gone ahead to drop 4 in draws. You get? And those draws have come up to because of the red cards that they've gone ahead to obviously get into those games. And when you look at their next fixtures, Arsenal could go on a very huge winning run of really winning games. And their next 2 fixtures in the Premier League are going to be played at home. They are going to be hosting Leicester City and Southampton before we go to the international break. Meaning that if Arsenal wins these games, then they'll find themselves in a position really doing the needful and really doing what we call a very huge boost. And even when they return, they're going to be playing Bournemouth. And I tell you, I think those 3 games are really going to be 9 points for the club of Arsenal. And after playing Bournemouth, that's when the side of Liverpool will come into the mix. And then there is Newcastle. So then there is Chelsea. So Arsenal is really having a very tough fixture, but I believe they have the squad that can really win it. And you can hit what Arsenal can play. I told you that let Odegaard rest. And by the time Odegaard comes in, you people will be needing him most. Now, your rivals of Man City, let's hear their next fixtures. Man City is playing Newcastle away. It's not an easy fixture, right? Then they are hosting Fulham. Then they will play Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, before we go to the international break, they'll play out Newcastle and they'll also host Fulham. Those are the 2 games. And I think Newcastle isn't a given. We all know that. Newcastle is not a given, if at all you know what they bring on the table. Now, let's go to the Premier League table and see how things are really panning out and how this table is really looking like and what this table looks like. The Premier League table has the following. 1. Man City, 5 games, 13 points. Liverpool, 5 games, 12 points. Aston Villa, 5 games, 12 points. Arsenal, 5 games, 11 points, meaning that Arsenal is 2 points Arsenal is 2 points behind Man City. Then Chelsea, 5 games, 10 points. Newcastle, 5 games, 10 points. Brighton, 5 games, 9 points. Nottingham, 5 games, 9 points. Fulham, 5 games, 8 points. Tottenham Hotspur, 5 games, 7 points. And Man United, 5 games, 7 points. And remember, Man United is playing Tottenham Hotspur next weekend. So, it's not yet tight, but by the time we obviously play the next 5 games, we'll see the real shape and perfection of this side known as Arsenal. So, that's what I had for you. But Arteta has shocked Pep Guardiola at Etihad. What are your thoughts about it? Go into the comment section, tell me your thoughts. And this is Rokani David onto the Rokani Media Football. I've gone ahead to react to this late, but I know you're really going to enjoy it to the fullest. And I'll thank you and thank you and thank you for always being here all the time to obviously watch this channel and really give us the best that we deserve in as a side. Bye-bye and good night to those going to bed.